joined by Sam here today. I'm going to take you through a 20-minute full body workout. When you're ready, standing on your mat, take your feet nice and wide, knees and toes point out towards the sides. Start with your hands on your hips. We're going to squat down, press those knees out a little wider, straighten your legs. Lower down, squeezing up. So we're just warming up through the hips here. You can reach your arms forward for a little more challenge. Good. Aiming to keep that tailbone tucking down and your ribs nice and closed. Good. So thinking about pressing your weight out into your pinky toes slightly and keeping the arches of your feet nice and lifted. We have 3 more here. Last 2. That's it. Hold your final squat. Hands come back to your hips. Your left knee is going to come towards your right. We swivel around to face the side. Drop your knee a little lower. That's good. Rotate to the front. Other knee twists round. Yeah, so we're just warming up into the legs here. Swiveling on our feet, squaring off the hips to each side. Perfect. You have 3 more like this. Keeping your tailbone tucking down, ribs are closed. Next time you swivel to the right, we're going to hold it here. We take little pulses up an inch and down an inch. Try and stack your shoulders over your wrists. By wrists, I mean ribs. That's it. Open out through those shoulders. You have 3 more. 2. Last one. Stay low. Come back through the center. Your right knee comes round towards the left. We pulse down here. Shoulders are open. Body is lifted. You've got 4, 3, 2. Last one. Swivel round to face me. Thighs are really starting to burn. We're going to try and float our heels up. That's it. Reach your arms forward. Pulse down for 8, 7, 6, 5. Really strong ankles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press your heels into the mat. Straighten your legs. Give your legs a little bit of a shimmy, shake. That's it. And then standing at the front of your mat. Nice, roll your chin down towards your chest. Place your hands in front of your feet. Soften your knees. That's it. Walk your hands behind you so that you're sitting facing out towards the side. You can place your hands behind your thighs and roll all the way down onto your back. Bring your heels a little closer towards your butt. When you're ready, push your hips straight up to the ceiling. Arms reach up to the ceiling. They go all the way back behind your head. Circle your arms out to the sides, all the way down towards your feet. Reach your arms back out to the sides. Hands come up to the ceiling. As your hands come down past your hips, lower your tailbone down. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, drive your hips up to the ceiling. Reach your arms up and back behind you. Circle the arms wide. Good. Reach those arms back around above your shoulders. Hands come up and over your head. Lower your body and your arms together. We're going to go for 3 more like this. Switching on the glutes, but also just finding a bit of range through our shoulders. You can pick up the pace a little bit. Last 2. Perfect. Last one, reach your hips up. Sweep the arms back and round. Nice, back up over your head. This time when your fingertips are extended to the ceiling, we pause here. See if you can push a little higher up onto your shoulders. Close your ribs. We lower our tailbone down towards the mat. Push your hips up. Lower down, pushing up. You go for 6, 5, 4, keeping the weight in your heels so your toes can pull back towards you. You've got 2 more. Hold your hips up at the top. That's it. From here, nice and slowly, step your feet towards each other. So just heel toe your feet towards each other. Squeeze your knees together. Nice, you can bring your hands down to your sides if you need a little more support. Last challenge here, we take the knees wide and then draw your knees together. Knees go wide, draw the knees in. So we're warming up through the inner thighs a little bit more. The challenge is to keep the hips level and lifted, but to make it slightly easier, you can drop your hips closer towards the mat. Perfect, you go for 3 more. Good, last 2. That's it, squeeze your knees together as tightly as you can. Lift your hips a little higher, hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your butt down, pull your knees into your chest. Take a couple of breaths here. Sit yourself up when you're ready. Plant your feet down into the mat. We're going to extend our arms out in front of us. We're going to tuck the tailbone and slowly curl back into a C shape with the spine. And then roll back over your tailbone, sit up nice and tall. We tuck the tailbone, roll back, and then sitting up. So you can really feel that shift in your pelvis. It tucks all the way under and then it pushes all the way forward. As your tailbone tucks, your abs switch on a bit tighter. Nice, as you push your hip bones forward, the abs release off a little bit. Try and match your breath with the movement. So exhale as you curl back. Inhale as you sit up. The next time you curl back, we're going to hold back here. For a bit more support, place your hands behind you. Otherwise, you can reach those arms out in front of you. I'm going to rotate over our right knee. Take your left arm high, your right arm low. Draw your hands in front of your shoulders. That's it. Square your body off to your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale to curl back. Rotate over your left knee. Perfect. Front arm goes high, back arm goes low. Square off your hands, square off your shoulders. Then we sit up. Easier option here is we curl back and just place one hand behind you, pause for a moment, and then you can push yourself up with that hand. So we're still getting the rotation through the spine, but there's a bit less load through your abs with this one. Nice, Sam. We go for 2 more like this. Roll back. 1 reach to the right. Good. Rolling back. 1 reach to the left. Nice. Square off your shoulders. Stay here. We're just going to pulse the chest higher. Keep tucking your tailbone so your ribs are closing to your hips. You're here for 6. Remember, hands can always go back behind you to help you a little bit here. Last 4, 3, good, 2, and 1. Perfect. Sit yourself all the way up. And then from here, spin yourself around into a 4-point kneel. We're going shoulders over wrists and knees under hips. Then rotate your fingers in towards each other slightly. So they're about 45 degrees inwards. Soften your elbows and take your nose out towards the front of your mat. Keep your knees below your hips. Straighten your arms. Perfect. So if we just drop our hands our face straight between our hands, we're not creating any resistance through your arms. So you want to send your nose out a little further so your triceps have to help you control the movement. So you can see Sam's reaching her face out in front of her hands here. Easier option is to bring your hands or your face closer to your hands. Great, you've got 3 more like this. That's it, last 2. Nice, lower your face down, hold it here. We take a pulse up an inch and down an inch. Press through the heels of your hands, going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten your arms, send your butt to your heels, that's it. Push back into a shell stretch and find a nice deep breath here. Come back into your 4-point kneel. This time, walk your hands out a little bit in front of your shoulders and send your hips towards your mat. Knees go back behind you slightly. We're in a half plank. Slowly lower down to your right forearm, then to your left. Push up through your right, push up through your left. Good. So bringing your knees closer to your hands gives you more support, so less load through the abs. Walking your hands further out or your knees a little further back behind you stretches out the abs a bit further, so will be a bit more challenging. Great, Sam. And we're trying to really minimize the movement through our pelvis here. So that's where our core has to work extra hard. Good. Ribs are still pulling to your hips and you're pushing up out of your chest. You have 3 more. Great. Last 2. On that final one, lower your forearms down. Hold it here. Tuck your toes under. Just extend your right leg. Keep your left knee down. Tap that right knee down. Left knee extends. Good. Back to the right. Back to the left. So we're really squeezing our tummy in here to support the lower back. For a bit more challenge, straighten both legs at the same time. Lower both knees down. Good. So if you're straightening both legs together, roll back over your toes and then tap your knees down. Still trying to keep the pelvis really, really still. Nice. You have 3 more. Last 2. We're all going to try and lift our knees just for 3 seconds. Push up out of your shoulders, 2 and 1. Lower your knees down. Push back into a shelf stretch. Take a nice deep breath. I'm going to work into our glutes a little bit more, so just bring your weight back over your wrists. If your wrists are a little bit uncomfortable at this point, you can always go to your knuckles or down onto your forearms. From here, extend your left leg out behind you. Float it up to hip height. Good. We open the foot out to the side slightly. Draw it back behind you. And then tap the foot down. The leg stays straight the whole time. Reach the leg long. Open your foot out. Bring it back behind you. And then tap your foot down. That's it. So we're trying to keep our weight really centered between both legs here. That's especially challenging as you open your foot out to the side. So keep pressing your weight over to the left a little further. You've got 3 more. Really nice. Last 2. Make sure your ribs haven't dropped to the mat. Keep squeezing them up and in. On that final one, lift the foot up. Open it out to the side. We just hold that diagonal reach. Pulse your foot higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knee down. Take a quick shallow stretch back. Nice deep breath in. Shoulders come back over your wrists, knees under hips. We'll do the second side straight away. I'll pivot around so that you can see that leg working. Right leg lengthens out behind you. Lift it up to hip height. Without shifting your weight into your supporting knee, open your foot out to the side. Draw it behind you. Bring your knee down. Good. Lengthen the leg out. Little reach. Back. And down. Perfect. So you can see Sam's come down onto her forearms to give her hands and wrists a little bit of a rest. You're still working the glutes just as much, so just do whatever is comfortable for you. Start to focus on moving those hips less and less each time your leg reaches out to the side. So we're pushing our weight over towards the right. Great. Last 2. Nice. Reach your leg up and out to the side. Pulse your leg higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees come down. And then swiveling round to face the front. And do a little bit of side lying work. So when you're ready, coming down onto your right forearm. Hips are stacked. Knees are stacked. I want to work into the bottom side of our body here. Bottom oblique. When you're ready, push your hips up. Drop your hips down. You can always place your top hand down on the mat and push up through both hands together for a bit more support. Lift your hips, lower down. If you want a bit more challenge, extend your top leg away from your hip and keep the movement going. Keep squeezing your top hip forward even further. Good. You have 3 more like this. 2. Last one, lift your hips up. We're just going to hold the hips and pulse them a little higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your bottom hip down. Sit yourself up. Take a big reach over to the side. And then sweep your feet around to the other side. We'll do the same thing. Stack your knees, shuffle your butt all the way back. Come down onto your left forearm. We push the hips up, lower the hips down. Little lift and lower. More challenging option is to reach your top leg long and try and hold it at hip height as you work here. Great, so we don't want to sink into that bottom shoulder too much. It's about getting that reach up through the bottom abs. I know I've said that quite a few times, but it's what really kicks into this exercise and makes it effective. You have 3 more full movements. Last 2. Hold your hips up. Take little pulses in your top range. 8, 7, bring your top hip forward a little bit more. Great, you've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that sit bone down. Sitting up, big reach over to the side. And then big reach over to the other side. Perfect. Just swiveling around so that you're sitting on your butt. We're going to lie down onto our back for our last few challenges here. If your abs are still feeling a little bit disconnected, you can always sit up and prop yourself up on your forearms for this set. Start with your arms down by your sides. Draw your legs into tabletop so knees come over your hips. That's it, feet are in line with your knees. Place your fingertips on your lower abs. You want to feel them staying nice and flat. We slowly lower our right foot down towards the floor and then draw that knee up over your hip. Left leg goes nice and slowly, dipping down, lifting up. So if you're aiming for that more supportive option, just push up onto your forearms and tuck your tailbone slightly. That'll help you keep your core engaged through the whole set. Looking good, Sam. You have 3 more like this. Last 2. Nice, final one. You're welcome to stay with this exercise, or if you'd like a little more challenge, we lengthen the right leg long instead. Draw that leg into tabletop, and then left leg goes long. Finding a little full stop each time you lengthen your leg away, and making sure the back of your rib cage is sinking down into the mat so that you don't lose that rib to hip connection as you work here. Sometimes it's helpful to think of a giant sack of rice that's been dropped over your ribs, so that's keeping you pressing down into the ground as the legs lengthen away. You have 2 more like this. Great. Last one, legs find tabletop, fingertips come behind your head. Easier option here is to press your feet down into the mat, otherwise stick to tabletop. Gently curl up, look towards your knees. Pause here, reach your arms past your hips, lower your body down, hands come back behind your head. So try not to pull on your neck, curl up, look to your knees, lengthen your hands past your thighs, find an extra little reach at the top if you can, and then come all the way down. So just feel this one out through your body. If you need to pop those feet down after a couple, go for it. You can always try tabletop the next time you visit this workout. Start to add in your breath to help you. So exhale as you curl up. Inhale as the arms reach long. Exhale as you squeeze up just a little bit higher and then come all the way down. Great work. We've got 2 more like this. If you want to try tabletop for those last 2, go for it. Last one, we're going to curl up and hold up here. Take little pulses with the chest higher. That's it. Fingertips are reaching past your thighs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax back. Just drawing your right knee to your chest. Lengthen out your left leg. You can open that right knee out slightly. Pull it across your body. Perfect. And then switching sides. Pulling that left knee in. Open out to the side. And just bringing it across your body. Take a nice deep breath here. That's it. Lengthen those legs out long. Sit yourself up when you're ready. And that's you guys done. Thanks so much for joining us. Give us any feedback or suggestions in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.